This is a presentation of the Sports Source Digital Network, presented by Hearthside Bank.
Welcome into Sports Source Wild. I'm Bob Hodge, along with Joe Justice. And today we're going to be talking about turkey hunting, more specifically, turkey calling. We're going to be talking about the different kinds of turkey calls. We're going to be talking about when you should try the different kinds of turkey calls. And Joe, you're not only the guest, not only the host, but you're also the special guest because you're the best turkey hunter I know.
I don't know about that, but
now, I think you're pretty dang good. I think we're going to let you do most of the demonstrating. I'll do a little bit of my chicken scratching while we're going along too. But here we are. It's down towards the last third of turkey season, and
coming up on May, it's getting later.
It's changed from
yeah.
where it was. I mean, everything has changed. When we started, and once again, we started later than we used to. I still like the end of March, but that's personal preference. But everything's green. If you like to hunt fields, if somebody's not mowing those fields, they're starting to get pretty dadgum high. Everything has changed. A lot of the hens are bred now, and so you've got gobbler. Some of them may be even starting to kind of gather back up in groups a little bit.
Yep, I'm seeing that in different places. I mean, you've got hens going to the nest. I mean, as we get further on into May, that period that they're going to be leaving the gobbler during the day is going to get longer.
And some people like that.
Gobblers, so
some people like that. Hey,
I love
man,
the late season.
I like the early season.
I love May.
I'm kind of the earlier the better guy.
Right.
So anyway, get into this weekend. You and I were hunting different places.
Yeah.
I was hunting up in Greene County. You were hunting up in Gamble County.
Yeah, I was doing the ultimate turkey hunt up there for the Wheeling Sportsman of NWTF and the Wounded
Which has
Warriors.
been going on a long time now.
21 years. 2004 we started doing that up there.
So how do you change things as the season progresses? Or do you go out there and here's how I start today. I don't have a game plan. I'm just going to go with where the birds take me.
Depends. Usually by this time of the season, I found some birds that have either got away or I didn't work for whatever reason, and I'll go back and visit them. I kind of have an idea of where to start on them, kind of have an idea of where they roost, maybe where they want to end up in the evenings, that kind of stuff. So, I've already put some boots on the ground and been out there and hunted a little bit. Actually, I haven't hunted Tennessee all that much, but still got an idea where to find some birds. So it kind of evolves as you go. There's 2 birds in this holler. There should be 1 on this ridge.
Does the time of year change your calling at all?
Yes and no. Time of day changes my calling. Rain changes my calling. Wind changes my calling. It just depends. Let's just take the birds, for example. Early in the season, early in the year, they're going to be in big winter flocks. Well, let me take that back. They used to be. Now that we're up in April, that's kind of gone. Your birds have spread out a little bit more. But if you were hunting in early season, say in Alabama or Texas, that kind of thing in March, you're going to have big groups of birds. So you're going to have to do a little more calling. You may want to pick a hen out of the flock and work her. A little more aggressive on the limb when they're roosted. I seem to do that earlier in the year as it goes. And this year's kind of odd. The birds seem to be about 2 weeks ahead. So they're already acting like it's mid-May from what I've seen. Now there's going to be 50 people call or comment. Everything I say or everything I'm telling you, there's a 180-degree different scenario. Different. You may call very little on the roost. You may call to a certain gobbler, not a certain hen, that kind of stuff. But the birds seem to be farther along than normal. So
and I agree with that. It does seem like they're a little further along. And just so everybody knows, we got a variety of different calls here with us. And most people watching this probably know turkey hunting. But if you don't, we've got box calls.
Right.
You brought a couple with you.
I brought a couple. I brought one of my favorites.
I don't have a favorite. I change out every season. I have got a drawer full of box calls, all of which sound good in the store, and then I get them home and don't like it. So anyway.
You'd be surprised if you hand the call to me and walk out 50, 60 yards out in the woods and let me run that call. You'd be amazed how much better it sounds out there than it does right here.
Yeah, well.
You get a little distance on it. And, we've got pot calls. I call every one of these a slate call. But
that's what I call every one of them a slate, too.
This happens to be a slate. This happens to be a glass over aluminum. I'm partial to the dead-end game calls. Mitchell Johnson does a fantastic job producing calls. He does a lot of mouth yelpers, diaphragm calls,
right,
and friction calls. Unfortunately, my dead-end box call was sat on by yours truly and broken. But
Not
I do have a couple other ones that I use. But, there's different situations for each. I like a mouth call just to be hands-free and to be mobile. I can keep one in my mouth all the time.
Sometimes you keep two in your mouth.
Sometimes I keep two in my mouth. You get a different sound. Each one is different. I mean,
gags me thinking
if
about
you want to get real raspy, this is a Mitchell Johnson special call from Dead Ends, actually. It's a bat wing. The latex is pulled up a little higher. It's not down even with the frame.
Right.
So you're going to get a little more rasp out of it, a little more rattle.
Go ahead and hit it one time. See, it's funny. You just made noises I can't make. I mean, literally, I can yelp, cluck just a little bit, but my range with a mouth call is so limited.
Well, I'm trying not to blow the microphone up.
Yeah.
Producer told us to take it easy.
This episode of Sports Source Wild is brought to you by the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. If you're talking about habitat work all across the state or Hunters for the Hungry where you can donate your deer meat, the Tennessee Wildlife Federation. Joe, where can you find them at?
Bob, that's tnwf.org for more info.
All right, Joe, let's say we're start of the morning. I like to start my slate. What do you start with?
Depends.
Your first call.
Well, I mean, this is intimidating. There's a lot of calls. So let's start with what people are going to want to use. They're going to want to use a pot call. I call every one of these a slate, but it's easy. It's a friction call. All you do is make a little circle, get your yelp into cluck. You just pop it. You want to purr it, pop, purr, pop. That kind of thing. This is a glass over aluminum, so it's going to be considerably louder. So this would be more for a windy day, rainy day. If you want to get it out there to where it rattles across the mountain, here's your yelp.
Considerably louder. That's what.
Cluck. You got all that there. That is the easiest call for somebody who wants turkey call to go buy and use.
Well, see, here is my every time I hunt. And don't tell me it sounds like a goose.
Like a goose, I won't. Right?
What I do every time I start hunting, I do that. Now, I'm probably, because it's worked a few times, I'm probably trapped by that.
Gotcha.
But
so if you got a bird in a tree, that's what you're gonna.
That's what I'm going to do, and then I start varying it up from there. But and I spoke earlier about how much I admire your calling. The diaphragm calls.
Right.
Now we're going to talk about these things here in a minute.
That's the second easiest to use as a box type call.
Not in my world it didn't.
Well, for beginners.
But the diaphragms are what I think 9 times out of 10, this is what closes the deal.
It depends.
Go ahead.
I'll start the deal with it.
Go ahead and give us a run on it.
You can go soft. You can go high. Your hands free because you got it in your mouth.
But go ahead and I want people to hear the difference.
So starting off in the morning, I'm going to have this in my mouth. This is from Dead End Game Calls. It's a Mitchell Johnson special. They make really good calls over at Dead End. But I can be really soft, just like tree yelps, tree clucks, just to get in with those birds, start communicating a little bit. And then when they hit the ground, I'm going to ramp it up.
Well, now, I have very few variations,
right,
in the way I call. Part of it is I just haven't really attempted it. And it's like playing golf. You learn how to play golf on a driving range.
Well, all you need to know how to do is to cluck and yelp. You can kill a turkey. You can kill any turkey. If you can just yelp, you can kill a turkey.
So let's hear yours again.
Yelp.
Yelp.
Cluck. Cluck.
I can't do that.
You want to cut at them, which is an excited hen. Now you'll see them. Those hens will yelp a little bit, come in. And when she gets that gobbler nearby, she's going to get more and more excited, or she's looking for that gobbler. And a lot of times she'll yelp, 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 cut, and that will get him to gobble. So a lot of times when you're trying to get a bird to gobble, you're going to want to cut at them, and it'll kind of sound like a run like this. I'm going to yelp a little bit, cluck a little bit, and I'm going to cut at them. A little more excited, higher pitch, a little faster run. You can do like Jake or Gobbler yelps on here too. And that's just a slow, drawn out
If
call.
I try to do those noises, you're having to do the Heimlich because I've swallowed that dadgum thing.
Young Gobbler, Jake,
Yep.
the hen. And there's differences. There's different cuts. I like this particular. It's kind of a modified bat wing. Gives you a little more rasp. I like a real raspy reed call. So
we've talked about these things, which once again, the people I learned how to turkey hunt with, that's where they were, I think, the best. That was the difference between the really great hunters I know and the average guys like myself, is how you can use the diaphragm. Because once again, you can just make more variations in sound, whereas with me, they're going to hear the same recording over and over again.
it takes a little bit longer to get used to those. I mean, it's really hard when you put that in the roof of your mouth. There's a lot of it. You got to push the air the right way. You got to make sure there's no gaps. It can tickle your throat. It can scratch your throat. You got to watch.
And lots of times they're not cut right for your own mouth.
Yeah, I've never been one to trim them because every time I've tried to trim one, it's too much.
Kind of like trimming your beard one day, and it kind of gets too short. The next thing you know, you don't have a beard. And then the one we hadn't talked about yet, the box calls. Now, anybody who is a football fan knows what a Hail Mary is.
Exactly.
That's what this is for me.
A Hail Mary?
This is my Hail Mary.
Oh, wow.
I do not, I have killed 50% of my turkeys probably because of the slate. Quite a few because of the diaphragm. I save this for the very end. If they haven't gobbled at anything else I do, that's when I use this. And I think of the three that we're talking about here today, and there's other calls out there. I mean, neither one of us brought a Gobbleshaker, which I'm okay with that.
Now I will use a Gobbleshaker, especially late in the year. But I'm not going to do it on public ground.
I carry a Gobbleshaker with me, and I think the last time I had a bird gobble back at it was like 5 years ago. But I use it. This is the Hail Mary. I don't even know what I call the Gobbleshaker. But these things they tend to be, you can make them as loud as you want. You can really throw the noise out there with them. You can do a lot of different things with them. But I'm just not confident with these things.
Well, I mean.
So that's the reason I save it.
Go
ahead and hit yours.
This is a good locator call for me. You've got a single-sided box. I've got a single-sided box. I prefer those. I seem to be able to run them better. This is a small compact. It's double-sided.
Right.
But this, I put my thumb down near the bottom so I can do the clucks. And then my yelps. That's low.
Yep.
You can get much louder. And I tell you, for a locator midday, a lot of guys don't use them because, just like you said, they say they haven't had any luck with them. But I'm telling you, this box call has brought in a pile of birds, especially if you start hunting in the Midwest and the West. Those birds can hear you a long way off, and the pitch of these box calls seems to ring true with those birds.
And that's the reason I use when I do pull it out of my vest, or pull one like it out of my vest, because, like I've said, I could go into the box call business. I probably buy a new one every other year.
Well,
I'm going to find something I can use.
They're one of my favorite things to buy. I love them.
Well,
I mean, I've got custom ones. I'm just looking for one that I really, really like. But the loudness is the reason I will use it when things aren't going so well, because it does seem to carry a little bit farther. Good in the wind.
Good in the wind. But if somebody said you can only go into the woods with one, what's it going to be?
With one call?
One call.
One type of call?
One type of call.
It would just have to be a bat wing, 3-reed diaphragm call. Yep.
I would probably.
That would be mine.
And see, once again, that's where I would probably carry a slate, because I can do more with it. I can make more variations in the sound, and
but you got to love the slates. I mean,
a little bit of everything.
Purr, cluck. You can do the real soft stuff.
And unlike a diaphragm, if the turkey gets really close, you can take it and throw it at them. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But if somebody said you're limited to one, it would be the slate. And once again, you go and you see slates that cost well over $100.
Oh yeah.
And then you see slates that cost well under $20. And it's what you like. It's not what you think is necessarily, this one, I got to have it because it's $100. It's the best. I don't know if they even make these anymore.
No.
But I've carried it around for a long time.
It's been a minute for Turkey Thugs. That's the old classic TV show that they had with
the
Mossy Oak guys.
This was in a gift bag years and years and years and years ago, and it's the one I like. And you can buy them, like you said, there's glass, there's aluminum, you can buy the ones that are divided into 4 different parts to where,
some have
you got glass, aluminum, slate, everything right here. But even when I screw this up, doesn't sound too bad.
No.
Sounds like a turkey.
That's all you need to kill a bird.
Whereas when I screw this up, it sounds like a cat got its tail caught in it.
Well, you may call a coyote in or something with that, but.
And then this one, I don't screw it up very often because it usually just rides around in my truck with me.
But I'm affiliated with Dead End Game Calls. Those guys do a fine job. Mitchell is a world champion caller. He puts calls out there for us. I mean, this is a bottomland, working class, dead end glass, and I mean, $40, I think, something like that, which is not bad. But you get that same that competition kind of calling. It's a little bit notch above than some of the entry-level calls, but they're affordable, and it's
$40 is very affordable for these things.
Anything in bottomland is better. I mean, so that's the killer there. So
this
happens to be one of Dead End's more custom, and I actually broke it bringing it here, and it's still running pretty good. I cracked the daggone thing. I about cried. Oh.
And something else, just real quick before we get done. When you're using a slate, you also got all kinds of different strikers.
Oh yeah.
And everybody, I prefer rosewood. I've got to have an
Coca-Cola.
Southern oak. I've got to have a this, that, or another. Or you can just use one that's I don't even know what that's made out of.
Well, there's graphite. There's graphite.
This isn't even graphite, but.
Yeah, and there's different styles. I mean, this is a peg type, I call it, or with a flat end and a thinner barrel, and these are rounded on the ends, got a bigger, and so you're going to get a little deeper sound. I mean, you can hear the differences in them. I'm playing it on the crack right there where it's broke. Then you go to this one, you're going to have a different source of friction, different tip on it. Both sound good. One bird may like one may like the other.
Exactly.
So.
And that's the funny thing, is I have sat there and used this thing for the first hour and a half in the morning. Nothing's gobbling. pop a diaphragm in my mouth, different noise, and right there's the birds.
Shoot, I've stood and heard a bird gobble, hit him with a mouth call, nothing. Switched to another mouth call, nothing. Gone to a slate, nothing. Gone to a glass, and he'll hit it. Or I've gone to a box and he'll hit it. I've run through two or three different calls to a bird that gobbled on his own, and it's whatever pitch they're wanting to hear or whatever pitch they're tuned into. Not sure exactly the biology of that, but different calls get different results.
You want to sound like their ex-girlfriend.
That's true, or their current girlfriend.
Or their current girlfriend. So that's a little bit of running through calls, Joe. Thanks for the demonstrations. Once again, we hope everybody out there like it, subscribe to it, send us comments, and let us know what you think. A little bit about turkey calling. Joe, talk to you next week.
And good luck out there, everybody.
And once again, before I forget, thank you to the Tennessee Wildlife Federation for making all this possible. Good folks doing good work.
We did like 8 minutes.